Week 2, Lesson 5, Godsman by Lindward. So, in the last video, I had us look over Frans Mansriel's The Sun, which might have seemed like an odd choice. It wasn't his first wordless novel, or even his most popular. However, it was a wordless novel that was seen by Lindward, who liked its storytelling, and realized that America didn't have any wood-etched wordless novels. Lindward was born in 1905 and lived until 1985, where he died at the age of 80. His most well-known work is a wordless novel called God's Man, which is acknowledged to be the first woodcut novel made in the United States. It proved to be a big success and would probably have been an even bigger one if it wasn't released in 1929, a week before America's Great Depression started. So the basic plot boils down to a young artist sells his soul for a magic paintbrush. I'm not going through this story page by page like I did with The Sun. Instead, I want to take a look at some of the highlights. It starts off with a lone man in a stormy sea. The waves are intimidating, as they seem larger than the boat. But the artist looks up to see the eye of the storm, which he paints. This is our first good look at the artist. After the storm, the artist goes into an inn to eat some soup. The innkeeper demands some money. We see by the innkeeper's asymmetrical face and missing teeth that he's not a pleasant guy to look at, unlike the artist. The artist even avoids eye contact with the reader, as the artist hands over his painting, which the innkeeper rejects as payment. We see by the shading and squinted eyes that the innkeeper's look is intense. He realizes that the artist can't pay for the soup and is becoming angry. The artist's back is to the reader. We don't know what his reaction is. We don't know if he's scared or if he's staring the innkeeper down. When we focus on the picture, we realize that there is a hand on the innkeeper's arm, belonging to someone off page. This page reveals the owner of that arm. He is a tall, slender man who wears a mask to conceal his face. He observes the painting. He clearly sees the value in the painting, as he hands the innkeeper some money. The innkeeper seems pleased with the payment. Within the last 3 pictures, our mind was able to piece together all the information and recreate the scene in our heads. The lighting in the background. Look closely. What do we see? Many black and white lines going up and down the page. The lamp is created out of 2 incomplete circles. The shapes beneath it give us the illusion that it's connected to a wall. Our mind does the work. Our minds are what pieces together those shapes and gives them real-world equivalents. Look at the innkeeper's face. It's not realistically drawn at all. The nose is large, the eyes are misshapen, and the mouth is missing the teeth. But our minds piece those together and tell us that he's happy to receive the shapes in his hand, which our minds assume are coins. The mysterious figure holds out a paintbrush. It was used in Egypt, by monks, by Van Gogh, and all he has to do is sign a contract. We see all the characters of the story so far holding something in their hands. The innkeeper is holding the money. The artist is holding the paintbrush. And the mysterious masked stranger is holding the contract. From this picture, we can assume that everyone has gotten what they wanted out of the dealings. Now, we're going to jump to the end of the story. The artist has taken a wife and child, and they've left the city to live in the countryside. The painter still has the brush, and it looks like his child has inherited some of his talent. Everyone is living happily. But the masked man has come and is pointing to the contract. He's pointing to the artist's signature. The artist leaves his wife and child behind. He's waving with the brush in his hand as he's walking up a mountain. A light from the heavens shines on the canvas. The artist looks at it as the mysterious man takes off his mask. The artist's eyes are unlike anything we've seen so far in this book. His pupils are widening in horror. His right hand, the one holding his paintbrush, is about to cover his heart from the terror. The beams of light behind him only emphasize the shadows in the front of his face. The light has moved behind him. It's gone past him now. His right hand is covering his face. It no longer holds the paintbrush. We see the man leaning back. At his feet, we see there's this dark shape. Our minds fill in this as a ledge. Now comes the penultimate page. The artist is falling back and is tumbling into the light of the mountains below. We see the mysterious stranger watch him fall. Notice the lack of detail in the mountains behind him. We see the white lines beneath the dark shapes, and our minds immediately fill in that they represent mountains. And, if the page does its job right, we believe that those shapes are mountains while reading this. Finally, we get the reveal of the masked stranger's true face, a form so terrifying it caused the artist to die. He's clutching the paintbrush again, and will no doubt make a deal with another young artist. This sort of revealing ending was often used in Golden Age comics, because a surprise reveal like this would be hard to do with traditional prose, and the movies at the time hadn't started playing around with twist endings yet. Now, let's go back to the title, God's Man. What does the title mean? Who was God's man? Was it the artist? Was it the masked stranger? Or perhaps it was the artist of the book himself, Lind Ward. In creating this book, Lind Ward warns people that there are no easy ways in life, and if you make a deal with the devil, there are bound to be unseen consequences. A fable that these pictures could translate to everyone in the world and reinforce his Christian morals. That seems to make him God's man, more so than any one character we've seen in this story. So, why is God's man important to our course? It was an early example of sequential art that was accepted by the public, which told a serious story dealing with morality and mortality. It used Christian symbols, and parts of it were open to interpretation. Questions to contemplate. Who do you think God's man was in the story?